Hey, everybody. Happy Friday. This is Clinton Young, international keynote speaker, founder of the Speaker Posse, and coach for aspiring world-class speakers. I'm really stoked today. First of all, it's Friday. I know a lot of you are getting ready for a great weekend. I've got some really cool info today that I want to share, something that's near and dear to my heart. And I'm about to go live, actually not live. I'm about to go into a podcast recording in about 19 minutes with my friend who was on a couple of weeks ago, Caitlin Pyatt, talking about marketing for purpose-driven entrepreneurs. It was a fan favorite, lots of comments, lots of likes on that share. And we're going to be talking about why it is absolutely vital for all purpose-driven entrepreneurs in this day and age to become world-class speakers. So definitely be looking for that soon. Somebody says, hello. I don't know who you are. If you're able to go through the StreamYard acceptance process there, then I'll be able to see who you are, or just let me know who you are. And so I want to talk about, like, have you found your purpose? Are you looking for your purpose? If you have found your purpose and you know what your purpose is in this world, pop it in the quote in the notes below in the comments. If you don't think purpose makes a difference or it doesn't mean anything, put that in there as well. Or if you're looking for your purpose and you really have no idea where to start, put that in there as well. Let me know where you're at around your purpose. Do you feel like it's important to have purpose and meaning in your life? Now, for me, about 10 years ago, at least 10 years ago, I had this experience, maybe even 12 years ago, where I had this kind of spiritual awakening. I won't go into all the details of the story. I've shared it on other lives or bits and pieces of it. But ultimately, I had this kind of spiritual awakening and this yearning for more meaning and more purpose in my life. Hello, Heather Kesslek, empathic empowerment coach. Love it. Oh, love it. You're going to love this conversation. I want to hear more about your purpose and what you feel that is in the world, or if you're still moving towards that, let me know that as well. Perhaps you even help people find their purpose. I don't know, but I'm going to say something right now that might be a little counterintuitive to you, as well as perhaps to some other listeners. I know a lot of you are listening to this on the playback. Again, we're talking about how you find your purpose. I know a lot of people ask me when I deliver my speech. It's called Reigniting the Human Spirit. And I've been very fortunate to be able to deliver my speech in various countries around the world and to a lot of people. And it's a ton of fun, and it's part of my purpose to reignite the human spirit, right? By reigniting my own human spirit. And that is something that I get. The question I get all the time is, Clinton, how did you find your purpose? How do I find my purpose? So that's what I want to talk about today. So welcome to the show today, if you will. It's going to be a brief one because, I've got a podcast I'm doing in about 15 minutes. But when somebody asks me, how do I find my purpose? I say something that is kind of counterintuitive, and a lot of times it stops them in their tracks. And they say, you know what? Somebody just gave me a comment here, so I'm going to pop that on the screen. I changed my entire career after COVID, was a pediatric OT, not sure what that means, obstetrician maybe, not sure. Wasn't going to see babies from a computer screen, so I decided to use my nervous breakdown and awareness of my childhood abuse to push me to my next quantum leap. Boom, love it. Oh, that's amazing. I want to hear more about what you're doing in your quantum leap. That sounds really, really cool, really sexy. I know a lot of people in times right now, like in COVID, very similar, but very different as well, to back in 2008, 2009, when we had the financial crisis. That's kind of when I had my spiritual awakening, if you will. A lot of times we will go through sort of an awakening process when we experience a loss or when we experience a failure, right? So you might experience this if you've had, unfortunately, a death in the family or of a close loved one, or if you lost your job or you lost your marriage, or you lost something of importance to you, right? You're into financial survival. A lot of times that will spur this sort of spiritual awakening. And I feel what's happening is our hearts open up because of this hurt, this loss, this fear, this pain. And what happens is I believe that the spirit is allowed to get back into our hearts and into our souls, and we're able to get reignited in some fashion. Now, sometimes we obviously stay there for a little longer than perhaps is good for us, but it's all part of the process, right? It's all part of the process. And a lot of times this sort of awakening or this quantum leap that somebody had just mentioned, I think that might've been Heather, had mentioned, really occurs. And that's exciting, right? So even in these crazy times, like really good things can happen. Like, I think this is Heather. She says occupational therapist. Okay, got it. She worked with special needs kiddos in their home, birth to 3. And she'd held on to her abuse her entire life, had no clue of it until COVID. So it's crazy. Like, I know a lot of people are suffering with COVID. I know a lot of people have had loved ones that have passed. And at the same time, there's a lot of like rebirth or like new things coming from this crazy time that we're in right now. So what I say, back to the question, when somebody asks you, or when somebody asks me, what is my purpose? How do I find my purpose? I say this, I say, if you're looking for your purpose, stop. It'll be waiting for you when you start doing the things that you love, right? If you're looking for your purpose, stop. It'll be waiting for you when you start doing the things that you love. And I put this quote up. This is a quote that I kind of created after, nothing comes from absolutely nothing. I was influenced by actually the law of Dharma, something I heard from Deepak Chopra. And I was actually influenced by a t-shirt I saw in Bali, Indonesia. Yes, folks, a t-shirt. So there's always messages everywhere we go. And I'm getting a lot of comments today. I love it. Love it. Love it. Okay. Yes. All right. She says, yes, stop. Look for you. Love it. Look for you, your core. Yeah, absolutely. Love that. Love that. Love that. So I'm going to put this quote back up on screen. And I actually posted another quote the other day, one of my favorite quotes of all time. And it goes something like this. It says, oh my goodness, what does it say? It says, what is it? I got it right here. It's right there. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Okay. So basically the quote is that, stop looking for what the world needs. Stop asking the question, what does the world need? Like, a lot of people will take you through a process and say, what are you good at? What does the world need? Well, how can you make money? It is a good process to go through, but I love this quote. It says, stop looking for what the world needs, right? Go do what makes you come alive. What makes you come alive? Ask that question. What makes me come alive? Because what the world needs is more people who have come alive, right? What the world needs is more people who have come alive. So ask yourself that question. What makes you come alive? So a lot of people are like, okay, you say, if you're looking for your purpose, stop. It'll be waiting for you when you start doing the things that you love. Well, what do you mean by that? Okay, well, go do some of the things that you love, maybe some of the things you're passionate about. And then I'll get the objection, well, what if I don't know what I'm passionate about? I'm like, okay, all right. There's always someone in the audience, right? And that's true, actually. I poke fun at it, but I've been someone, even when I first met my wife, she would ask me, like, what are you passionate about? And beyond travel, which we hit it off with immediately, I didn't really know. Like, I didn't know a lot about what I'm passionate about. And if you ask 10 people on the sidewalk or online, wherever you are, what are you passionate about 9 of them are going to look at you with a blank stare and say, well, nobody's really asked me that question. So ask yourself that question. What are you passionate about? And if you don't know, that's fine. Then just take a step back and say, well, what do I have an interest in? Right? What am I interested in? And then find opportunities to go and do those things. Like, what are the things that you have interest in? What are the things that bring you life, that bring you joy? That when you do them, you're in your quote unquote flow, where time flies by, where you could do it all day long and it actually gives you energy instead of depletes your energy. Go do those things that are either interest, like hobbies. Go do those things, because those things can grow into passions, right? And it's all going to come together in a sec. I'm going to come back to that quote. I'm going to actually keep that quote up on the screen here. And then find the things that put you in what I like to call your state of flow, which this could be something to do with your career, right? It could be something that maybe is not even tied at all to how you make money, but it's something that when you do it, like time flies by, you could do it all day long. You add the most value when you're doing those things because you're lit up and it's easy. There's a sense of ease and grace for you. That's your flow. So find things that you can do that are in your flow. I'll give you an example. When I was really like lost and confused and kind of discovering more about what I wanted and who I was about 10, 12 years ago, I would literally raise my hand and go and do things like I would be the greeter at my spiritual center. I'm getting a lot of comments again here. Let's see here. Years of ignoring yourself will definitely lead to not knowing your passion. Yeah, absolutely. And so many times we're just kind of going through the motions of life and we are ignoring ourselves. We're not intentionally causing our life and creating what it is that we want. Getting a lot of comments. I love this. Okay. Yes. Flow. Love it. I just did a live video this AM about flow. Okay. We need to talk. Let's talk, man. If you have a podcast, I should come on your show, right? We should do this. Awesome. 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 So again, if you're looking for your purpose, stop. It'll be waiting for you when you start doing the things that you love. So what are the things that put you in your flow? Well, for me, it was being a greeter at my spiritual center because it was easy for me. Like there are some things that when you do them, they're just easy. They're effortless. And you're smiling because it's like in your natural state of who you really are, right? There are some things that when I do them, it's not my natural state. It doesn't mean I can't get really good at them, but it's just not something I enjoy. So I'm probably not going to put in the time and effort to actually do it. And I'm not going to enjoy it. So it's not going to come as easily. I shut my brain off to it. Right? There's a whole lot we could talk about right there, but we're not going to go there. So why do I say to do these things? Like go practice your hobbies, your interests, right? Improv comedy, another thing that it was an interest of mine. So I just scratched that itch and I went and I tried it and I freaking loved it. It gave me life. It gave me joy and it taught me so many things. There's a whole nother podcast or episode we could do on that, right? It's not important about what the things are, right? Those are the hobby examples. And the other examples are the things that put you in flow, like volunteering to greet at a spiritual center like I did, or doing something else that for you is like easy. It's brain dead simple. You could do it in your sleep all day long. Go do more of those things, right? Go do more of those things because what happens is it raises your energy, right? And it raises your, not to get like too psychological here. I do have a big background in psychology, bachelor's degree, master's degree in organizational psychology. And I've been geeking out on neuroscience for the last like 20 years. So I'm not the foremost expert, but I know more than the average person. So we could go really deep into what's happening when you're putting yourself in these different states of flow. But we're not going to go there today. But all I'll say is that it does raise your vibration and it raises your point of attraction. It raises your neural activity and it raises your awareness of what's going on in your environment. So what happens is you start to notice different things in your environment that were already always there, but you just didn't notice them before because your energy and your consciousness and your vibration was at a lower level, right? Again, if this isn't making sense, reach out to me, put a note in the comments below if you have questions about it. Again, I could go on about this for quite a while, but I have another podcast in 6 minutes and it's just beyond the scope of this real brief Friday afternoon video or Friday morning video. But ultimately what's happening is, when we're out there in the world and we're not operating and vibrating at this higher level of consciousness and awareness, all the same stuff is happening around us. We just don't notice it. We just don't notice it. Did you know that literally there are billions and billions and billions of bits of information that our eyeballs and our consciousness, actually our unconscious brain actually sees in any given moment throughout the day, like throughout your whole day. But we're only able to grab onto and see a minute fraction of all that's happening, all the possibilities, everything that's happening all around us at any given time. Right? And what is it that tells our conscious brain what it is that we're going to focus on and actually take in? Because if we were to take in all those bits of information, we would go crazy, like bananas, right? We'd go nuts. And that's probably has some link to some levels of mental illness, where they're getting all this, they're getting too much information and they're just, it's all coming out. Again, not going to go into that right now either. That is not my expertise, mental illness necessarily. But ultimately, what's happening is our belief system acts as sort of a lens, or you could say it like a filter, or the bottom part of a siphon, if you will, this funnel where the funnel comes in of all this information, and they've got this little filter at the bottom. Well, that filter is our beliefs, right? That's our values. That's our beliefs. That's kind of how we see the world. And it's almost like wearing colored glasses. Like when you look through those lenses, you're going to see the world a certain way. You're going to see certain things. But when you take those glasses off, you're going to see the world a whole new way. Same thing with your filter. Your limiting beliefs, right, is just this filter which allows you to see certain things in your environment when really it's all happening all around you at one time. We're getting in a little bit of like quantum physics here, and I'm not going to go deep into that. And I'm not a turbo expert in that, but again, I know a decent amount about it, enough to talk in a rudimentary fashion like this in a way that I can understand, and hopefully I believe you can understand as well. So what's happening here is when we start to raise our vibration, when we start to put ourselves in these states of flow and in these experiences of joy, where we're giving value and we're experiencing our interests, they turn into passions. And along this process, we raise our vibration, we start to see things newly, and we start to see new things arise and new connections, new opportunities, new people drop into our consciousness of who we need to call, right? And all of a sudden, opportunities start to get created, and we start to create momentum. And along that pathway, it's my belief that as you follow this pathway, it doesn't happen overnight, but as you follow this process that I'm talking about, to continually put yourself in opportunities to raise your state, to raise your experience of joy and of life in the moment, put yourself in states of flow, it's my belief that your purpose gets revealed to you along the way. So if you're looking for your purpose, stop. It'll be waiting for you, or it'll be revealed to you when you start doing the things that you love. Again, bye for now. That's it for me for today. My name is Clinton Young, international keynote speaker, founder of the Speaker Posse. So make sure you join the Speaker Posse. I'm going to put that up here on screen as well. If you're not part of the Speaker Posse, join that. And of course, I'm a coach for aspiring world-class speakers. So reach out to me if you think I can help you. Until next time, remember to always think big, say yes, and take action. Bye for now.